run on is actually very important in figuring out how our body is going to respond to our injury.
It's about getting to the root problem.
Hey everyone, it's Dr. Heather, your virtual sports chiropractor. If you haven't heard just yet, I've created 27 tips and tricks for runners on injury prevention. Now, over the past 27 weeks, we've really uncovered a host of those tips and tricks, but now we're starting to wind down and we're getting into the final ones where now we're going to look at, well, what is a better surface? Road, trail, treadmill? You know, a lot of us wonder all these different things. Well, again, it kind of boils down to kind of what you have access to, first of all. So some of us may live in an inner city like I do, where we don't really have access to trails, we have access to roads. Or maybe your neighborhood isn't that safe, or maybe you work a job that requires you to train, get your running in really early in the morning or really late at night, and it's not safe to go out on the road. So again, when we look at the type of surface we're running on, this is where we want to really start looking at our footwear. And you might be saying, okay, well, Dr. Heather, you've always talked about looking at the footwear as the last step, the last piece of the puzzle when it comes to the injury. Well, that's very true. When we look at the initial injury, we do want to kind of get to that root cause of the problem, and then from there, reassess your gait by using a gait analysis. And did you remember I told you can get a free gait analysis with me? Well, if you forgot, go ahead, click that link down below and book that appointment today. But again, if you get that gait analysis done, if we start to really look at kind of what's going on with the foot and ankle and how the whole entire leg is moving throughout that entire cadence, we can have a better idea of the type of footwear that you might need to help you in running. Now, there is no wrong answer here in terms of some of us really just prefer being out in the woods. We prefer to be out on the trails. And granted, yes, if you are somebody who does do more trail running, it is going to be a little bit less impact on knees and hip. So if you are somebody who has suffered with hip pain, knee pain, you might gravitate a little bit more to the trails. And again, you may even gravitate a little bit more to a treadmill just because sometimes a treadmill has a little bit more bounce, a little bit more cushion. Even though road surfaces do have good shock absorption, a lot of times we are forced to run on sidewalks, which are not the greatest because they can be a little bit more uneven. There could be cracks and stuff like that. I know from experience, as living in an inner city, you do wind up doing a combination of sidewalk road, which can always be a little hard on the joints. But again, this is where you want to really start looking at your footwear, checking out what it is, how much cushion is provided in that shoe. I think a lot of us know by now Hoka has gotten a great brand name kind of going just simply because they do provide a lot of cushion. So I have seen it with a lot of our baby boomers. They are gravitating more into that Hoka shoe, as well as also looking at that Brooks Ghost. But again, it really boils down to how that foot is moving from you. Because again, if you guys haven't heard, I do run in an Adidas shoe just because of how I pronate. I'm an over pronator, probably on both feet, I think, if I still recall. But again, I find that the Adidas is more suited for my foot. It provides the comfort and shock absorption that I need. So again, this is where you would really look at the surface that you're running on. And then from there, really understanding kind of better, your gait, how it's being affected, what happens, how you change your pace, and so forth. So this was, again, that tip that kind of now ties into a few others where you really want to have a better understanding in order to make sure that you stay injury-free and you keep those ailments that you're experiencing down, if not completely gone. All right, so if you haven't grabbed the 27 tips and tricks guide, that PDF, go ahead, click the link down below. I've left you it there. And for more great information, always check out some of the videos on the channel and don't forget to subscribe. All right, everyone, I'll catch you in the next video.